Can you dig it, Carl?
I can dig a super late night edition
I see the
of
digit
Windy
number
City
one.
Digits Live. I got mine. I'm repping.
I see digit one.
I'm
QB1 in the house
No.
here.
QB1.
Right there, QB1. He's got
Thanks
COVID.
everyone for checking the video out tonight. We're doing a live stream, but I'm sure most of the people hanging out are probably asleep right now. So we'll just go ahead and kind of share our thoughts really quick on what we thought of the game tonight. Game's still actually going on. Bears are winning 27-3 right now in the fourth quarter.
As Carl reminded me when I said this game is boring, he said, "You know it's preseason, Vic," and I was like,
"NSS."
No, I was like, "No, I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me."
You gave me an NSS.
I did not say that.
You just gave me a no Sherlock. That's what you gave me.
Actually, okay. I sent you a GIF of a kid going.
Yeah, right.
No way. All
right, so let's talk a little bit about the game. Really more what we saw in the first quarter. Or in the first half. What are your initial thoughts?
Okay, wait. I'm gonna pull up the score too. All right, so yeah, they're winning by 24 points. But you know what? Just the first half we're talking.
Yeah, I mean the game's still going on. I mean there were some good plays in the second half, but just overall impressions of what you saw.
All right, well, okay, I'll say our special teams looks really good. Mm-hmm. I was impressed with them. And like I said before, I didn't see the last game, so I don't know how they played last game. But special teams I thought looked good. I thought Justin Fields, for the most part, looked pretty relaxed or confident, except maybe one play where he rushed it. And I think that might be a play that you were talking about when we were texting back and forth.
Yeah, that was the last play before the field goal.
The offensive line, I was kind of hard to unless I look back at tape again, I wasn't sure if some of those were coordinated plays where they were letting the line come in sometimes to
draw set them in.
Up. Yeah. So I think some of that was that, and some of it was bad blocking. Cole Kmet was really nice to see. Mm-hmm. Our defense overall looked pretty solid and very few penalties. So I think, and hustle, really good hustle. I thought even each quarter, I felt like our team actually looked better overall than the Seahawks.
Yeah, the Seahawks were a mess.
I know. So what was your perception?
I think they definitely built off of what they had last week, right? They moved some guys around the offensive line. I don't think that's going to end up being the final lineup we're going to have, because you still have Patrick coming back, and who knows where Reef and was it Schroeder,
Schofield
are going to play.
So Schofield was playing in the third unit.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if he's just working his way back into shape. Yeah,
I don't know either. But somebody tweeted, I don't know, one of the analysts out there was saying that tells you something.
One of the things that really, a couple of things, and I texted you about this, that Fields Kmet chemistry.
Don't text me, I'll text you.
I think that Fields and Kmet chemistry was really good. I think that's going to be something special. You could start to see that they're starting to build upon that.
Didn't they have two pass plays and both were first downs?
Yes, I believe so.
I think that so one, too.
The second one that was the rollout was really nice.
It was nice.
They were able to get him down the field.
I'm looking for our receiving here. Kmet, 2 receptions for 31 yards.
Yeah, that was good. The second thing I would say is I really like Luke Getsy's play calling. I'm glad they went for it on fourth down.
Me too.
And then I think the best part about that is all night, not just when Fields was in, but all night tonight.
All night long.
Here we go.
All night.
It's late, folks. Sorry for the.
All night long.
He was throwing passes for first downs where the receiver was actually at the first down marker. He wasn't throwing like
Yes.
these like shorter passes.
Yeah, there was only one play that I texted you that I was like, "What the heck was that?" And I think that's the one that he threw to. Was it? It wasn't Ebner. Maybe Herbert. To the sideline. It was
Yeah,
like 3rd and 4,
yeah. I think it
and I
was
was like, "What
Ebner.
kind of play was that?"
Yeah, and so I thought his play calling was really good. So and you kind of touched on it. These guys were playing hard tonight, all the way through. I mean, even now in the fourth quarter, these guys are playing hard, and
I like
um,
it. Is it the hits? Is it the hits principle?
it's so far so good, man. Like you can tell on the sideline, like he's got a presence on the sideline. Like he doesn't say much. Like he's not this like fiery guy on the sideline, right?
Who
But
e pluribus unum,
yeah, but
or
he's got a presence
Getsy?
on the sideline. No,
Yeah,
Eberflus has got this presence on the sideline. Like he just looks like in control.
Getsy looks very confident as well. Honestly,
He looks a little cocky, doesn't he?
yeah. Well, not as cocky as what's his name on the Seahawks. Why can't old
Pete
age
Carroll.
just
Pete Carroll.
sucks. Yeah, and watching Pete Carroll chomp his gum on the sidelines every time they pan onto him drives me nuts.
Yeah. Well, his team looked awful tonight. Like they were all over the place.
They look terrible. So, okay, let me ask you a question. So, like, if you were to pick two players that stood out to you the most, which two players would you say? Well, and then maybe that's kind of a tough question. Let's pick a core first. Let's pick the receiving core. Who stood out in the receiving core? And I'm talking wide receivers, tight ends.
Okay, the one guy that stood out to me, and it wasn't necessarily because he was a receiver, was Velus Jones Jr.
Yeah, I agree, but I also thought that was more the special teams. Yeah. What'd you think about that one run? Describe that one run. Yeah, that return. Yeah.
Look, he looked. He probably would have scored a touchdown if the blocker didn't get in his way. Our own guy, like, didn't know where he was, and like he turned around. Next thing you know, he's looking right at Velus Jones Jr. and Velus is like,
He's
"Get out of my way."
He's that fast.
He's that fast.
Hey, Speedy Gonzalez. Hey, Speedy Gonzalez. Yeah, he turned on the afterburners like immediately, man.
Yeah,
He went directly to the sideline and passed like two guys like instantaneously. He has really good short bursts.
And
quick
the other
bursts,
guy, is it Webster?
Yes, absolutely. That would be the other guy in the receiving core I was impressed with. And even Coulter was not bad, and I don't really know a whole lot about those.
They should have challenged that play.
They absolutely should have. He had it under his or on top of his forearm.
Look, if that was Bears teams of past right under Matt Nagy, that's a pick six. Like that's a pick six. Like he's throwing from his back. He's throwing from his back and blindly. Yeah. And next thing you know, he's running down the sideline the other way, and Nagy's got this look on his face like, what the hell's going on?
So Webster had 4 catches for 25 yards. But he also had a really good run in the was it a punt return or was it a kickoff return? I think it was a
kickoff return right after they scored the field goal.
Yeah, so he looked good too. So yeah, how about on defense? Who do you think looked good on defense, if anybody? Or was it more overall unit? Or was it just the Seahawks were that discombobbled?
You know what? I don't know if it was just because it's the first game. I don't know if it was just because he was playing at home, right? But who's the guy I'm thinking of? The rookie. God, you're right. Growing old sucks.
It does.
Gordon? Was it Gordon?
I got some defensive guys up here right now.
Was it Gordon?
Oh, Kyle Gordon, yeah.
Yeah, Kyler Gordon. I texted you the one play he didn't look very good. He kind of got twisted all over the place.
But there was another play. He was rushing the quarterback, and he looked fast. And it was nice to have that kind of speed on the outside there.
Yeah,
but you're right. He got juked.
Yeah, and I think overall, like, it was a solid. Like, look, it's one of these. Like, it's almost like a no-name defense, right? I mean,
Hmm.
other than Quinn, right? Um,
Yeah, they are not getting very good defensive pressure up front at all.
well, look, let's put it this way, right? You basically played against Seattle's starters basically the whole first half.
Oh, well, and two of them are rookies, though, but they're also 300 pounders, six
But
five, 6'6".
they're going to be starting. Those guys are going to be
No,
starting,
I know,
right?
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
I'm just saying they're rookies, but they're big dudes.
yeah.
They're
Look,
hard to get in there.
I think look, Geno Smith is not. Look,
No.
he's probably going to end up being the starter for Seattle, right? He's a veteran quarterback, right? But
Hmm.
they kind of held him in check. Now, granted, DK Metcalf and some of their other receivers really didn't play a whole lot, so that probably made a difference in the game. But
Yep. Yep.
um,
Absolutely.
for the most
But
part, they played against the first team.
yeah, yeah. I would like to see our first. You know what? All right. So what I've heard from analysts is that our first unit is not playing the next week at all.
I,
They're not going to play till the actual first game of the
oh,
year.
I heard the opposite.
I just heard this during the game, and I had heard the opposite as well prior to this game.
So what I heard prior to the game was they actually interviewed Eberflus about this, and I think it was Eberflus anyway. Um, they were saying that because it was a short week, a
Hmm.
short turnaround, they had to fly all the way out to the West Coast. That they knew automatically that they were going to limit the number of snaps that the first unit was going to get.
No, I mean
Um,
we knew. Yeah, I know that.
but
I'm
but that,
more
but that was
talking
but
about
that
yeah.
was that was the but that was the main reason why. Had this been like a regular week, like had we gone out to Seattle like on a Saturday or a Sunday, um,
Saturday in the park.
those guys would have played more.
Think it used to be the 4th of July.
It's late. You're tired.
It's a great song by Chicago, Saturday in the Park, by the
Peter Satell.
way.
But Peter Satell.
Yeah. I
So
don't know if anyone really stood out to me on the defense. I think that just the defense as a whole maintained Seattle fairly well, but Seattle also shot themselves in the foot. So it was, I think, a combination of the two.
yeah,
But
and again,
no one really stood out.
yeah, again, it was hard because you're looking at tape, trying to get younger guys and guys that are trying to fight for spots. You're trying to get those guys
Yeah.
reps, right? So
And,
like you didn't see most of these other guys that are probably going to play. You didn't see them really in the game at all.
no, and honestly, without going back and looking at some of the film, like I wouldn't even be able to tell you on the offensive line who played well. I'm trying to watch it as I'm watching the game. I'm trying to keep my eyes on Tevin Jenkins to see how he's doing. I'm reading what some of the analysts that are there, what they're saying. They said Tevin Jenkins had a really good game.
Okay, speaking of analysts, what did you think of the broadcast tonight?
I don't know. It was okay, but the amount of time they spent on Roquan was kind of annoying, and they were giving him too much love, which I found annoying. But you probably liked it.
No, look, I thought Lewis Riddick, I thought, brought up some good points, right? Like he was saying how it's tough to negotiate with a guy, right? Like I thought he was being more fair about the whole thing. Like, look, when Roquan's complaining about how it's backloaded,
Yeah.
you're not hearing complain about the money. So it sounds like the money might be right. It's just he just might be unhappy about the structure of the contract. So
Mm-hmm.
like when he says that they're not valuing him, he's like, look, you don't hear him complaining about the money that they're offering. Like, does he want to be toward the one of the higher paid linebackers? Sure, right. But at
Yeah.
the same
Mm-hmm.
time, like he was saying that um, you never heard from him. Like, look, it's they're so far apart on money. You haven't heard that from him, And I think the other point he brought up was really good is that you know other teams value linebackers more.
Mm-hmm.
Other teams value linebackers less, right?
I do like what you sent me with. Was it Shep? Right.
I think so. I
I
can't
think
remember
so.
now.
And he was talking about well, maybe that's not what it was, but I actually, it might have been something I heard on the radio this morning, but they were saying that the Bears have for years overvalued defense and that they need to change into the modern era of NFL football and start signing people on the offensive end and get some weapons on the team, and that Roquan is not that guy that they should be spending their money on.
Well, look, I think to that point, right? I think Louis Riddick also brought this up too. So was saying like, look, you see the number, like Bears fans see the number, like they're like so much money under the cap, like 6 million or 12,
Yes.
whatever the number is, right?
They're going to be the sixth best
Six,
team. Yeah.
right now they have the sixth most available cap space for this season, right?
And
but
next year the most.
But he brought up a good point. Like, look, you're still overhauling this roster.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
You still have people that like Montgomery is in the last year of his rookie deal.
Mm-hmm.
You got to determine what's his value. Are you going to bring him back? What's he going to be worth? Right? Some of these guys on the line, like, do you need to bring in some stud offensive linemen? That's going to cost money. That looks like the defensive backfield is set, but you could probably use one or two more pieces on the line, on the D line, maybe one or two more linebackers, but that's a lot of gaps and a lot of holes you have to fill. So to commit yourself to one person, you got to believe that if you're going to pay him what he's asking for, close to $20 million a year, you better, like, it's easy to say, yeah, right now he's one of the better players. You don't want one of the better players. You want the guy that's going to anchor your defense for the next 5 years of that contract.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
I agree with you, Coach. Hey, what do you think of our backup quarterback?
I think we're great shape all the way down to 3. Peterman's good, right? Simeon, I think, is the perfect.
I think Simeon is one of the better backup quarterbacks we've had in a while.
Yeah, and look, he played at Northwestern, right? He's familiar with the town. Mm-hmm. Like, he wants to be here.
He looks confident too, man.
Look, I would pay that guy money to be our backup quarterback for a couple of years.
I would too.
Yep.
No, he looks good. Yeah.
And if nothing else, he can help mentor Justin Fields, right? He could be that guy. Like, look, did you see this? Did you look at this? The corner or the safety might do this. So if you look him off here, you might be able to get this hit down the line. So I think he's the perfect guy to bring in. And Peterman was a starter with Buffalo for a while.
I know. Yeah. He actually looks pretty quick, Peterman. And he's got a gun for an arm. I mean, I don't know how accurate he honestly is, but watching him throw, he's got like a laser beam, man.
Yeah. So look, for a second game, his score is 27-11 now.
Well, Daz Newsome fumbled a punt.
Oh, so we return the favor.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Well, that's our first turnover of the preseason out of 2 games.
I believe. And that's the other thing. We've played pretty clean.
Very clean. It's awesome.
The first 2 games, not a whole lot of penalties.
Nope.
Not a whole lot of mistakes. You don't see the issue. Again, this is where I kind of like Getsy a lot. You don't see where the play's not getting in on time. They're getting the play call in. They're getting the line. Justin Fields is able to make a read. I thought all that was the game management is fantastic so far.
Yeah, I honestly very positive. It was good to see. I felt like, as much as I was saying the game was boring, the Bears just looked kind of like the better team, and I don't think that's what what people would be rating the Bears over the Seahawks.
So I mentioned about the broadcast. So that's the one thing I think I'm going to gripe about tonight, right? Mm-hmm. It seemed like throughout the whole broadcast, they kept talking about how Seattle was not their night. Like, they just kept making mistakes, but they really didn't make the time or effort to really praise the Bears for how they were playing.
Yeah, they were having a hard time doing it. I think they even said it. Like, do you think this is the Seahawks just having a bad night, or are we not giving enough credit for the Bears? That was kind of like a backhanded compliment to the Bears. That was the best they could do.
And the other guy I really like, normally I like his commentary, and I think he's got good perspective. Was Dan Orlovsky. Like, that guy was so negative on the Bears right from the get-go. Like, he kept saying this is the worst situation for a quarterback in the league. Like, Justin
Yeah,
Fields has the worst situation.
they're
I think
just going with the
Jacksonville.
rest. Yeah, they're just going with the narrative that they're hearing all over the place. So
I think Jacksonville's worse, right? I think Jacksonville is in a worse situation. I might even like Detroit's got some good receivers, but I don't know how much I don't know how they are with the running back or the
well,
offensive line.
I would love if Detroit and the Bears both can outduel the Packers. Wouldn't that be great? With
Yeah,
Rodgers already complaining.
and Rodgers is complaining. I don't know why no one's complaining about Rodgers' situation. Like, they just think that Rodgers, because he's this magical quarterback, like he's automatically going to make these receivers all pro. He sounds frustrated with those guys
He
right from
is,
the get
but
go.
I'm one of those people that thinks that he can do that because he has throughout his career, or the Packers have just generally been really good at drafting, and that's what we're hoping Poles is just a good drafter.
So far, so good,
No,
right? I
very good,
mean,
man. Braxton Jones to me is like bonus. What is he, a
oh
fifth
yeah,
rounder, sixth rounder?
like fifth round.
And people are just raving about him. So you got Braxton Jones, you got Brisker. Gordon, I wasn't too hot on tonight, but Brisker looks like a stud. Ebner looks
Yeah,
good too.
yeah. Even the third guy that they had out there, who
Evans.
is it? Evans.
Evans, yeah.
Evans looks like he could be like a third down back.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
he looked good. And you saw I showed you Blazing Game is got a cast on his arm.
I don't even remember him dressing for the game.
He didn't. He had a cast on his arm at the game. So I don't know what happened to him. We'll have to look that up. But also, the Bears had two linebackers hurt in this game. And
Did you
yeah,
see that freak play when they were calling the guys out?
yes,
And the two
yeah,
linemen were down.
yeah. I hope that guy's okay. I think he
It's
broke his leg.
It seemed like, yeah, because I think they put an air cast on the guy's leg, but he got
Yeah,
up, like he stood up on the
he
one
was
leg he
limping
could
on one
actually
leg.
use.
Yeah,
But it just seemed like
that's like
Seattle
my
was getting
bicep.
hurt all. It
I
just
curl
seemed like
those 120 pounders.
it just seems like, so it reminds me, I got to go to the gym as soon as we're done here.
Are you serious? You're joking.
No, I'm going to the gym tonight.
Nah, you're nuts, man.
Because I didn't go
bed.
earlier. I was gonna go earlier. I couldn't go earlier, so I just got to go to quick.
Well, if anybody's watching, what did you think about the Bears game tonight? Anything particularly excites you? Type it in the comments. Let us know. Type it in on our Twitter at Windy City Dig. Would love to hear from you.
Wow, that was pretty good. That was really professional. That was a nice job by you.
Oh,
Trying
thanks,
to
man.
get audience involvement.
Yeah, you're trying. Your stuff is wafting over here. Your charisma, your natural charisma is just.
No.
It's just contagious.
What did you call me the other day?
I don't even know if I.
Egomaniac? Is that what you called me?
Yeah, I like that, man.
Right? I'm the egomaniac.
Oh, praise Jesus. Storm is saying that. No.
Crowley. Yeah, Crowley. I thought they played over well. Like we were just talking about, they played a clean game, right? They played clean. They played well. Justin Fields looked good.
The Crow. He's the Crow from now
on. So
great soundtrack, by the way, The Crow.
Never saw it.
Oh, jeez, dude. That is an amazing movie that you got to see. So, yeah. We're not sticking on here too long, buddy.
Into the third preseason game.
I'm not mad at all either, man. It was a decent game.
No,
I just can't wait till it counts.
Yeah, 2 more weeks. Right.
So fantasy football coming up, guys. Any Bears players you're picking right now?
I'd take Montgomery.
I might even take defense, special teams.
Would you take Santos as your kicker?
Yeah, maybe, because I don't know how much the Bears are actually going to score TDs. At least not yet. I'm not confident yet, but I think he would be a good kicker, man. I think they'll end up having some good drives, but not make it into the end zone. I think they're still going to have a hard time getting into the red zone. How about you? Would you take Kuros?
Yeah. Look, because chances are, if he's going to be kicking field goals, he's going to be kicking the longer field goals. I'll take the bonus points.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I'll take the bonus points.
I don't think he's got the best longest game.
Yeah, look, the only downside he's got to kick. He's got to kick 8 games in Soldier Field. That's the only downside, right?
I would take Montgomery too.
Yeah, I'd take Montgomery. I'm not sure about Mooney. Like I would take, because Mooney's not because he's going to be covered so much. He's going to be the focus of the defense.
I don't know if Velas looked pretty. I mean, okay, so I'm thinking more of his return game than him as a receiver. Yeah, I don't. If Velas becomes that second option, then Mooney would be a good option to pick up. So
I think the other guy I would pick up is Komet.
I think so too. I actually think Komet might be a better option than Mooney. And Fields, I wouldn't take until like maybe the 6th round, 7th round. I'm not confident he's going to be one of those good QBs. He's going to be your backup quarterback.
Didn't you have him on your team last year?
I did. I picked him early, and then I tried to keep him all year long to the end. And I'm like, I'm getting rid of him. He's a waste of a roster space. I was going to try and keep him as a keeper.
So he wasn't on your final roster.
He was not. Okay. I ditched him.
Yeah, look, I again, overall, the part I think I'm really excited about for once is the offense. Like, I'm really excited to see what Getsy's going to bring to the table.
You're excited about the play calling.
Yeah.
More than the actual offense? Is that what you're saying, more or less?
Look, I think the offense is going to be way better because of the play calling.
I think they're going to be better. I don't know about way better. But
look,
it's hard. You're the guy that's with the glass half full. So I'm going.
Mr. Negativity.
Yeah, because we haven't seen it yet. Have we seen it yet? We have not seen it yet, and that's why I don't understand where I'm hearing that the Bears might not play their starters at all in that last preseason game. They're going to need it before San Francisco, and San Francisco defense is tough. So I may change my vote on San Fran.
You're gonna flip to San Francisco?
I might. I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
Farewell.
Let's see this last preseason game. See how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So, all right. So it's a late night. Vic needs to get to bed. Thanks everyone for tuning into the channel tonight. We do appreciate you watching in. He needs more than that. So, all right, check us out in the next video. If you haven't had a chance yet, like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified on future episodes. We do appreciate everyone.
All night long. All night.
Check us out next time where Vic will sing a full concert, and we'll have a food question also, and maybe we'll talk some sports too. Peace.
Love.
And digits.
Yeah.